Hello to all you lovely people. You're watching Crypto TV, India's first 24/7 streaming crypto channel. I'm Vinita Chatterjee, leading you into the world of digital currencies. And here are the headlines. Three Arrows Capital defaults on $660 million loan. Bitcoin Ether falter amid mounting defaults. Ethereum lending protocol hit with $3.8 million exploit recovers 50%. Digital assets investments saw record outflows last week. Over 400 crypto ads violated guidelines, says ASCI. New York NFT leaves attendees infected with COVID-19. Australian crypto trading firm Banxa to lay off nearly a third of its staff. Madhvan joins NFT Bandwagon with Rocketry NFT series. Now let's look at today's top trending stories in details. Crypto broker Voyager Digital said in a press release that one of its units had issued hedge fund Three Arrows Capital with a default notice for its inability to repay a loan of 15,250 bitcoins and $350 million in USDC worth roughly $660 million. Voyager had earlier this month flagged a potential default by 3AC. It now intends to pursue recovery of the funds through legal action. The default of 3AC on the $660 million loan reflects the hedge fund's stressed finances. A sharp drop in the value of Lido-staked Ethereum, or STETH, which 3AC had used extensively as collateral, exposed the firm to multiple margin calls, causing it to burn through its funds. 3AC is considering several options for dealing with its insolvency, including asset sales and bailout talks. The company was seen selling off several of its tokens, most likely to meet margin calls. Voyager is likely to be the first of the many firms in pursuing recovery measures against 3AC. It is unclear as to what extent 3AC's debt exposure is. Bitcoin and Ethereum, two of the biggest cryptocurrency coins, fell on Monday, decoupling from the performance of stocks as mounting defaults by crypto lenders forced investors to shun digital assets. Crypto brokerage Voyager Digital earlier in the day issued a notice of default to Three Arrows Capital after the hedge fund failed to make the required payments on its loan of 15,250 bitcoins and $350 million in USDC. Voyager also announced it has drawn down $75 million of emergency $200 million cash and USDC credit line provided by Alameda Ventures. That facility included a 15,000 Bitcoin revolver. Grim outlook for digital assets also weighed on investor sentiment. Goldman Sachs earlier today cut crypto exchange Coinbase's ratings to sell from neutral owing to continued fall in crypto prices and the ensuing fall in industry activity levels. US stock futures inched higher, pointing to major indexes extending gains that have come amid milder expectations for Federal Reserve interest rate increases. US stock futures had registered larger gains earlier in the session, but the rises softened after the data showed that durable goods orders for May had risen more than expected. Futures for the S&P 500 added 0.2% on Monday, while futures for Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 0.1%. Contracts for the technology-focused Nasdaq 100 edged up 0.3%. Bitcoin was recently seen trading at around $21,100, down over 1% in the past 24 hours. Ether traded around $1,211, down by over 2% in a similar time span. X-Carnival, an Ethereum-based protocol that acts as a lending aggregator for NFTs, has recovered 50% of the $3.8 million lost in an exploit. A hacker exploited a smart contract flaw that allowed a pledged asset to also be used as a collateral, in this case, a Bored Ape Yacht Club non-fungible token. The hacker has accepted a bounty of 1,500 Ether worth $1.85 million in exchange for the return of the remaining 1,467 Ethers worth $1.8 million, and the ex-Carnival team not pursuing legal action. Ex-Carnival negotiated a return of 50% of stolen Ether. Etherscan transactions show that the hacker has already sent 1,467 Ethers to the address shared by the ex-Carnival team. Ex-Carnival proactively informed users about the hack while temporarily suspending a portion of its services to counter the attack. The ex-Carnival smart contract has also been suspended, while all deposit and borrowing actions are temporarily not supported. Digital asset investment products saw outflows totaling $423 million since last week, the largest since records. However, the outflows represented only 1.2% of assets under management, lower than the record occurred during the bear market in February 2018, where outflows represented 1.6% of AUM. Regionally, the outflows were almost solely from Canadian exchanges and one specific provider. Stripping out the $423 million outflows reveal that the other providers saw aggregate inflows totaling $70 million, highlighting highly polarized sentiment amongst digital asset investors. The outflows were solely focused on Bitcoin, which saw net outflows for the week totaling $453 million, erasing almost all inflows year to date and leaving total Bitcoin AUM at $24.5 billion, the lowest point since the beginning of 2021. Short Bitcoin saw inflows totaling $15 million due to the launch of the first US-based short investment product last week, while older short investment products saw outflows. Ethereum saw inflows totaling $11 million, the first following 11 consecutive weeks of outflows. The Advertising Standards Council of India, or ASCI, has said that more than 400 advertisements pertaining to cryptocurrencies by digital influencers on different social media platforms had violated their guidelines in the first 5 months of 2022. Between January and May 2022, ASCI received 453 complaints. Out of them, 419 were found to violate one or more crypto or influencer criteria, with the majority of complaints being made against social media influencers. The guidelines, which kicked on April 1st, mandated all VDA products and services to carry the disclaimer, "Crypto products and NFTs are unregulated and can be highly risky. There may be no regulatory recourse for any loss from such transactions." ASCI is a self-regulatory body and its guidelines are not legally binding. In case of a breach, the standards body publishes the names of those who have not adhered to the guidelines and escalates cases to the relevant government regulator. Well, those were the top trending stories of this hour. Keep watching Crypto TV, India's first 24/7 streaming crypto channel. I'm Vinita Chatterjee, signing off.